you just reminded me. I went to the grocery store yesterday, and there was an old white dude and an old black dude behind me in line. They seemed to be similarly aged. I'd say about 65. And all I ever heard them do, I swear to God, was, as far as I could tell, do Japanese voice to each other the whole time. All right, here we are, everybody. Oh yeah, baby.
Hey, boy.
Back once again in the virtual Airstream studios. So I want to just start with something, if you don't mind, because it's real simple.
Okay.
Definitely on brand for us. It's simple, it's short, and I kind of just want to set a tone.
Okay.
For this episode, if that's all right with you. You may have to put
I'm adding it
thing up there now.
Here I go.
Okay. Can you see it? Can the airheads see it?
Yep. They sure can.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
A wallet should create a visible bulge, but not a medical concern. Too thin suggests poverty. Too thick suggests disorganization or Italian ancestry. A wallet should create...
That's the only AI thing I've ever seen that really hit for me. God damn. I did not. Please play that again, because I'm afraid for our listeners they didn't catch it because we were laughing too hard.
All right.
But not a medical concern. Too thin suggests poverty. Too thick suggests disorganization or Italian ancestry.
Dude, that single clip right there might have just changed my mind on AI.
Yeah. Well, I saw that and I was like, I'm sure this is some kind of fake, but I didn't know if it was like just whatever that footage
was real and they added voiceover to it.
Yeah, that's kind of where my head went.
Well,
but you can tell by looking at that the whole thing is just completely AI.
Sora, it's got the watermark, and Sora is what everybody's using for AI. And basically, from what I can gather, just by context,
I did not know that.
Yeah, Sora, I think the deal is this has to be the case, because nobody that's paying for it is paying for it to have a watermark on it. So I assume their free version, just like if you use CapCut, if you use the free version, there will be a CapCut watermark, but you pay for the premium. So these are people that are going on to Sora and making these videos for free. And so Sora has, so that's, in a lot of them, it's easy to tell the AI because it just literally has the watermark on it. But otherwise, I would have thought the same as you, is that it's just,
again, I thought,
no, it's getting good, dude. Like,
I did not think that this was like
an actual ad.
Right, the way that it was back then. But like I said, I thought they just took old footage and just did an old timey voice over the top of it, because I did not know what Sora is. But that's good to know.
Yeah, that's the latest. Like, I'm pretty sure that one's more of just a visual AI, whereas like ChatGPT's main function is like the chat. I think Sora's is like this is for filmmakers. It's funny. What's interesting about, on that one, I really wouldn't have known. It's getting kind of scary. And put a pin in this. I think me and you should do that. We should go take old commercials and do voiceovers for them to make them, like overtly racist or misogynistic. I think that would really hit for this show.
Sure.
But dude,
I mean, sometimes you wouldn't, you ain't got to do anything.
No.
I remember I was at the Salina Library years ago when I was like high school age, and I was looking through really old National Geographics.
Oh yeah,
from like the 20s.
Yeah,
and I don't remember exactly what year, but General Electric had just put out the fucking washing machine, which imagine how big of a hit that was.
Oh my God.
But and so it was the washing machine was brand new.
David won't punch me anymore.
It's worse than that. It's a General Electric's new hands-free washing machine, big letters, whatever, and it's got the picture of the thing. And there's a
oh no,
a black maid,
a
mammy, standing there with a speech bubble over her head that says,
can I guess?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh Lord, what's am I to do? Or something bad
no,
like
it actually
that?
says eyes.
Oh God.
I apostrophe S. Eyes show SHO, or I can't remember if it's SHO or SHOLE, but they spelled all this out. Eyes show do got a good job now. That's what it said.
I like the admission of like before it was terrible, but now.
Yeah, it's also General Electric, helping the blacks,
Jesus God,
making their horrific existence moderately less painful.
By the way, if it was truly from the 1920s, that means it's in the public domain now, which means that you, Trae Crowder, can cut that out of a National Geographic, Mod Podge it onto a piece of construction paper diagonally, and then just say, this is art, and charge $5 million for it without even having to worry about the fair use.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I can do that now, since that one motherfucker that you're referencing did that we talked about.
We should do it to his stuff.
Whose name I've already forgotten. Yeah, that would be funny. Just go take a picture of his framed picture of someone else's picture.
Like selfies
and
of
call
us in
that
front of
art.
it. Yeah,
and see if we could sell that. Yeah, that might hit.
Yeah.
There was always those there was like things that went viral, like Good Housekeeping from 1950 something, like 10 things a good wife does, or whatever. And it's like, just really unfortunate shit, must have just be quiet when he gets home, shut up,
right.
Make a sandwich, make a drink, make whatever,
Yeah. On paper, sounds great. But if you're a dude, me and Amber were talking about, she brought it up. Me and you've lamented this several times of how, like, look, obviously that was a dark time and women should never have had to feel lesser than men. But at the same time, whoo, what a time to be alive. We were watching something older the other night and Amber goes, man, men really used to have it made.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, you ain't lying. Like, I mean, it was wrong and horrific, but like they really did.
Let's take a look at some of these. I've not vetted these. We've done this before. It's always fun. You don't vet stuff. You don't know what you're getting into.
Here we go.
This is an article from Bored Panda. This first one is not offensive. It's weird. It's from 1996.
Oh, I saw that.
They say in 30 years, a burger and fries could cost $16, a vacation $12,500, and a basic car $65,000. Then at the bottom, no problem. You'll eat in, you won't drive, and you won't go anywhere.
Spitting.
Yeah, I know. What are they selling there?
I don't know. Like,
it sounds like threatening to me.
What is that?
But I don't know, because we live in that. We live
Black
in that
Mirror
world now, and it's like, so it's just, it seems creepy. I just don't see how that would be something that sounds like it hits to a person.
Hold on, go back to the bottom. It's TIAA, ensuring the future for those who shape it. Yeah, it's probably some.
Sitting around the house may not be your idea of the perfect retirement, but what's your choice when inflation is slowly but surely eroding the value of your nest egg? Talk to TIAA Craft. We offer investment insurance and personal savings plans that can help you outpace inflation. It's still that's a pretty like gloomy.
It's dark, but they were right.
That's what they were right, but it's funny to just be like, fucking look. Your life is not going to hit when you're old, especially in this godforsaken world, this hellscape that we all occupy. But, we can make it. We can do for you what General Electric did for black indentured servants, 100 years ago.
Now,
make
also,
your life slightly less terrible.
This TIA credit thing, I wish Mark was on here right now, because it wouldn't surprise me if like those type of investment firms are like the exact reason why that future came true. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Like I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, give us all your money so that this don't happen to you. And because you're doing that and taking money out of the market and shelling it away here, inflation has no choice but to rise. So it's sort of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. No. Yeah. You might be onto something. Here's a little PSA from the 1950s. Burn your old flashlight batteries in the fireplace.
It's green.
The burning zinc may help prevent soot formation, and the chemicals make colorful flames. So the kids will love it. Gather the kids around and watch the eerie green color of the fireplace as you poison their lungs with fucking oxidized zinc or whatever. It's wild that
we alive.
Yeah. It's all just that as many people from that generation like
made it
live to be old as they did. Is wild, because I've seen before, it might even be on this list in a minute, but another thing they used to have was like you could just order like your uranium in the mail, like a kid,
That's how Doc got it.
Kids, child's first radioactive set or whatever, like literally, like, like you want to be like Madame Curie or whatever, and you just order this set and they send you shit that's literally radioactive and you play with it as a child.
Dude, even that, like, I know when my dads were kids and like how you had that bit about how like the rural South in the 90s is the same as everywhere in the 70s.
Yeah.
It's so true because I used to hear people talk about, back in the day, in the 70s, your school would give you glass thermometers and you could crack them open and pour the mercury out and just play with the mercury, and people would, right? Well, I remember that we had that in elementary school because like one of the shit kids, like they had these leftover like thermometer kits, and he taught us like, yeah, you can do this and you can touch it and stuff like that. And what's funny about this era too is like, and I'm not shitting on my mom, I'm not making fun of my mom, but she will constantly, like, I'll be bringing up this stuff like, how are y'all? She's like, oh, well, we did this and we did that and we turned out fine. And I'm like, first off, no, you didn't.
Right.
And secondly, this is just this is just the model of that airplane with the red dots on it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, the ones of y'all that came back, you know what I'm saying? But like a lot of you didn't.
Yeah, well, a lot of people think that, not to get political, and also I know we both know we have a lot of like boomer fans too, but it's been like posited that part of like, some of the problems that their generation has is because like they grew up when lead was all over the place. Yeah. And so it made them all a little insane.
They brain mush.
And they don't realize it, because that's the thing about it's like we're talking about the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's also like in Catch-22, like if you truly insane, you are not going to be able to know that you're crazy.
Especially if a huge group of you
all agree that you're not crazy and that you hit and you're right about stuff.
Yeah, right. Like why would you think that? And I'm sure, dude, I'm certain that we've got some of that. There's something that happened to us that was that we just ain't found it out yet, because that's how that works. Is like you don't find it. I mean,
Jersey Shore. That was what it was. Axe body spray and 2000s MTV shows.
Curve cologne. Yeah, it all had.
That's what did that to us.
It all had like concentrated Tylenol in it, and we're all just fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know how much these have been hitting for me, but I don't know how much further I'm going to make it into this. This article. Yeah. This from a photography. I had my dad's old yearbook guy holding a camera. We shoot school kids. So that's unfortunate. You can see what he was going for there. Yeah. But anyway, some of these are funny and are hitting for me, but my God, Bored Panda. If anybody's listening from Bored Panda, which I've been aware of y'all's website for a while, this is pure cancer, dog. Y'all need to fucking do something about
the
this.
ads and stuff.
Just, dude, it's like it barely works. Like I know. Because it's got all these goddamn pop-ups and shit. It's just horrific. Like it's so bad.
That's the only way these sites can function anymore. Is
look at this one. It's from Esso, oil refining company. Humble, which is part of Esso, I guess. It says each day Humble supplies enough energy to melt 7 million tons of glaciers. Suck on that, glaciers. Like, fucking brag. People back there were just reading that like, hell yeah.
Bro.
Glaciers don't hit.
I can't see what's on the other side of them. I've always said that. I was I'd love to know what's over on the other side of that goddamn glacier. Oh, yeah.
Man, bro. It's this one is from Mr. Legs. Slacks. Says it's nice to have a girl around the house. It's a man standing on
the head.
Tiger rug whose head is a woman.
Yes.
Like, what even is that? You think? Like, what's his Mr. Legs slacks, and she was ready to all over her.
I can't believe it got worse.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
By the way, I would like to add Mr. Legs to a running list I have of great names for an 80s or 90s wrestler.
Yeah. It's just funny that a woman would look at a pair of slacks and just be like, man, that's hit so hard, I'd let him just wear my ass, just whip my ass.
You know what makes my pussy wet? Pleats.
Yeah. I'm a whore for trousers. TV Life magazine, TV Life radio. Who the fuck knows what's going on here? But this from obviously a long time ago. And the headline of the cover of this magazine: Why Betty White Will Never Be a Star.
So dumb.
She really showed them.
Hold on. What'd the other one say? Just in case.
Spike Jones, his boner paid off. I have no idea.
Boner
Surely
just made a joke, I think.
Okay. Are you watching do you see me Googling?
No, I don't.
Okay,
but I also think Bored Panda is like trying to give me a seizure. So maybe.
I know. The word boner used to mean mistake.
Mistake. Oh, yeah. You made a bonehead. A bonehead would make a mistake. He boned it up.
Spike Jones made a mistake, but it worked out for him. What the fuck?
Oh, my Lord.
All right. When cellophane and plastic bags were invented, why DuPont, who invented cellophane, that's 2 ads where they've drawn babies in plastic bags. It says the best things in life come in cellophane. You see so many good things in DuPont cellophane, and it's just a bunch of babies in bags. Like
a couple things from this. Number one, about a year ago, maybe a little bit more. Bane obviously is still young, but great. Hold on. Go ahead. I want to hear it.
No, it's the next thing. I saw what the next thing is, and it cracked me up already.
I know. I've got to see it now. I can tell you my story later. I've got to see it. I got to know.
All right. The Addis wedding set. Every bride's lovely coming home outfit. It says outfit, but it's like a gift, I think. Right. Box complete, delivered direct to her door. One giant, breathtaking package. Every new bride's dream gift set. And here at the bottom.
What a great reveal.
Yeah. If you're only listening, it's just a color-coded blue and white matching like clean the house bitch set. Yeah. It's got like a fucking mops, brooms, dustpans, trash cans.
The clean the house bitch 2000. New from 10 more.
Yeah. All right. So what was your story?
About a year and a half ago, Amber and Bane were in the other room, and it like got quiet. And like when you have a kid, it's like quiet is good, but sometimes too quiet is bad, And it just got quiet. And I go, "What are y'all doing?" She's like, "Oh, he's just playing." And I walk in there, and Amber's just on her phone. And please understand that my wife was just ignorant to this. Somehow, I don't know how she missed the memo. But Bane's just running around with a plastic bag over his head. And I go, "Amber," she goes, "What?" He's playing with the bag. I was like, you can't, he can't have a plastic bag over his head. She's like, and she goes, "Since when?" I was like, "Since ever." Like, since ever.
When?
It's like it was some new woke coming. And then she was like, "Oh, I guess I just never heard that." She's like, "I guess me and my brother weren't stupid enough to put bags over our heads."
That's his favorite plastic bag, though.
Yeah, that's his favorite
I'm gonna
plastic.
send her that ad so she thinks that she was right. No, I'm not. I don't want her to actually kill your baby or not.
I was about to say, and also
that would be bad. I was just thinking about it in terms of like making her think she was right, so it would piss you off. But yeah, I don't want to endanger Bane's life.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm glad I didn't see it. I can't wait. Boy, I love what you've done. And by the way, never vet again.
Yeah, all right. Vintage Chloranol bleach advertisement. God damn it. See this, but it's so fucked up. The website sucks so much. It just randomly. Okay, here we go.
We'll make Burns do stuff.
It's sailboat. Sailboat. The ad says, "We are going to use Chloranol and be like the white N-word." So it's little, like what even? I don't know.
I mean, that's an Italian, right?
Or
what else would that mean?
That's definitely what my papa, thought. That's how he classified them. But
is that supposed to be what that is in the back?
Albino, I'm assuming, like an albino black person, I guess.
Making it phonetically Jamaican also hits a little bit. We be like the white.
Jesus Christ. Loves baby soft, some kind of lotion or something, because innocence is sexier than you think. And it's like a fucking 12-year-old. It's not Brooke Shields, so at least she caught a break with that one. But
dude, man, you know what? I honestly, not that what he did was right, but when I look more at the culture of what it was like, even years after he did this,
Right. Donald Trump kind of hits and Jeffrey
no,
Epstein hits for you and stuff.
no,
Okay.
what I wanted to say is like, I kind of don't understand why what Jerry Lee Lewis did was that big of a deal. Like it is to me nowadays, but like back then they was talking about what you want to fuck this jergens up baby. And like, I mean, it was what it's because it's his cousin. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I think we've talked about that before. When I first found out that I had heard that Jerry Lee, was aware that Jerry Lee Lewis married his like 13-year-old cousin or whatever.
which don't hit.
I knew that that had happened, but I didn't know for most of my life until like relatively recent-ish. It was either when we watched like Tales from the Tour Bus, or I went to a screening out here in LA that T-Bone invited me to because he had something to do with it. Any hidden music thing of a like Jerry Lee Lewis documentary, and in that. But I was surprised to find that like people were upset by that back then, because I just, especially he's a fucking redneck motherfucker and everything. I very much always assumed that was a like, man, wasn't it crazy times back then? This is how crazy it was. Jerry Lee Lewis married his 13-year-old cousin and nobody even gave a fuck. But like they did give a fuck though. He caught all kinds of shit for that.
It seems like the only people who didn't give a fuck were the little girl's dad, who was Jerry Lee's brother or something.
Oh, he couldn't wait to get rid of her ass, dude. That's what they like. You used to have to fucking you couldn't give them away, bro. You used to have to like pay people to take all these extra women you had around the house. Just,
I know, it was like Craster's
just doing nothing, being utterly, just draining you. Yeah. So like, I'll give you 4 goats if I never have to see this bitch again. That's how people used to fucking
operate. I know.
Like
my granny, who was born in 1920, used to describe her pa and her upbringing as like Craster's Keep from the Game of Thrones, where like, they were just the ones that we can't give away. We're just feeding to the wildlings or whatever. Like, it was insane. So yeah, with Jerry, again, I think that if you marry your 13-year-old cousin, you should come under some type of scrutiny.
How old was he again? Like 20?
I think he was a little older than that. I think. Hold on. You skew this up on Board Panda, and I'll figure it out.
So this is the opposite of the one we started with. An ad from Kenneth Cole in 1996, which is the same year that first ad was from. That first ad that was very prophetic about the future. This is from the same year, Kenneth Cole, and it says, handguns are only in museums. All sex is safe. America is back on its feet. The year is 2020. Boy,
stick to
swing and a miss, Kenneth Cole. You fucked that one way up. Couldn't have been more wronger if you tried to be more wronger, really.
Yeah, stick to making jackets, bruh. How old was Jerry Lee Lewis when he married his 13-year-old cousin? God damn it. I'm on one of these websites too that's also cancer.
This next one is directly related to the current subject matter. A movie called Lola from 1970, which I'd not really, thankfully not heard of before this moment. But the tagline for the movie says, "He's not my daddy, he's my husband."
Oh, God.
And then the subtagline, the synopsis, I guess, says, "She's almost 16, he's almost 40. Oh. It's the funniest affair that ever jumped the generation gap. This summer, Lola." Like, that was the tone of it. It's so funny.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, it was just fine. A 40-year-old to 15-year-old. There's just a madcap comedy. And I bet they like work it out in the end.
Of course.
Run off happily together and shit. Oh, God, dude.
Jerry Lee Lewis was 22, and she was 13, which, don't get me wrong, 22 is not good. It's better than what I thought, which was like 30. But what's hilarious is that he lied to the press about her age, and they were like, "We heard she's 13," and he was like, "Bullshit, she's 15."
Right.
It's like, bro, if you're gonna lie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, maybe he just knew that wasn't,
gonna play.
Well, it just wasn't gonna fly. But yeah, I don't know, because like, I don't know. We've talked about this a ton across like other podcasts and shit. I remember when we did the fucking strawberry wine episode of Bubba that time. I feel like this is like all we talked about. But like, dude, fuck Jerry Lee Lewis's era. I mean, now look, she's 13. 13's egregious. She also was like his first fucking cousin.
Dude, it's also bad all around.
Egregious. But like, when I, as a kid in the 90s, when I was like a middle school and young high schooler in Salina, Tennessee in the late 90s and early 2000s. It was just a completely accepted cultural thing that, there was a ton of Woodersons around. The character of Wooderson from fucking Days to Confuse. Fucking, that's what I love about
That's
these
why that character ripped.
That's why, exactly, because every small town especially has that dude or multiple dudes, and I don't know if they still do or not, but like I wouldn't be surprised. But it was such a thing, dude. These guys at 25, 26, whatever, I don't know, 21 to 25, I'd say, year olds who still hung around with high schoolers and dated high school girls and stuff. And it was just like, it just was a completely normalized thing, not even all that long ago.
No. And for the record, just in case anyone misheard me, I am not attempting to justify what Jerry Lee Lewis did. All I'm saying is I'm shocked that it mattered to his ticket sales and all of that shit. And the cousin part, obviously that's gross to us, but I mean, we've long said on this show, it's like, oh, so they can do it, the British royals or whatever. And it really is funny because I like somebody like my mom, who again I love, and she's not wrong. Like if my mom heard about somebody from our area that was fucking their first cousin or tried to marry their first cousin, she'd be like, oh, Jesus Christ. But she loves the royals and they be doing that stuff. And I know in her brain is just like, well, they have to. They got that good blood. And I guess I can see the argument where it's like, these people here do not have good blood at all. They need to separate, mix something else in that blood because their blood does not hit.
Oh, fall. You hit for me, fall. You always have. Leaves, brisk weather, football, of course.
Soup.
Just cools off a little bit. Soup, love soup. I live in Southern California. I don't get as much of that, but even out here, it cools off and it just hits different. Fall does. Also, always kind of feels like a reset. You got back to school. Again, football season starting back up. Routines getting busier and the days getting shorter and that type of thing. And if you got kids in school and they got extracurriculars, you got that going on at night. And it's just a lot. So sometimes it can be hard to get time to cook meals. You can't always have time to cook meals. I try to make time to cook meals because I love cooking, but even I don't have time to do it during the day. I work from home when I'm at home, and lunch, I want to eat something good for lunch, but I don't have time to cook an entire meal just for that. So I, was kind of up the creek for a while there until I found Factor. We love Factor here. I've told you before, I'm a subscriber. I have been ever since I found it. I'm a big fan and a devotee. So is my wife. It's really upped our lunchtime game around here. I tell you that because it's convenient, but also still hits. A lot of things that are convenient, they don't really hit. You do them because they're convenient and you deal with the lower level of hitting. But, you ain't got to settle anymore because Factor hits. So their chef prep, dietitian approved meals make it easy to stay on track and enjoy something comforting and delicious no matter how hectic this season gets for you. They've got more variety and more meals than ever now that you can choose from. A wide selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. Where else you going to get that, baby? You can support your wellness goals with Factor. They've got even more GLP-1 friendly meals and a new Mediterranean diet options as well, packed with protein and the good kind of fats. They got global flavors over there. They got Asian-inspired meals with flavors influenced by China, Thailand, and more. For more choices to better nutrition, that's why 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. Feel the difference no matter your routine. So, I love Factor. I've said that before. I'm not just saying that. I really do. I loved it from the time it hit my doorstep. Well, no, I had to get it off the doorstep and in the house and in the microwave and heat it up and then into my fat mouth. But from that point, it hit for me, and it has ever since. So it hits for me, and it will hit for you too. I truly believe it. So eat smart at factormeals.com/POA50 off. And use the code POA50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code POA50OFF, POA50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Free breakfast for 1 year. Can't beat it. Get delicious, ready to eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Factor, make it hit.
Why wouldn't you? Guys, I got to tell you, without our next sponsor, which is Tushy, I don't know how I would be going about my days right now. Like, I'm being dead serious. When I'm in a situation where I'm out somewhere and I have no access to a bidet, and I know this sounds like I'm being pretentious, but I mean, this is putting on airs for the love of God. We're fancy boys. I genuinely, I just I can't believe that I ever just used toilet paper. It's literally insane, right? Like it's crazy. And at this point in my life, a-hole, is only a dirty word if you wipe, right? So I'm not even when I'm watching sports, I'm not even calling the ref an a-hole anymore when he makes a bad call on the Titans, even though the Titans deserve it. I'm calling him a skid mark. You know what I mean? Calling Mahomes an a-hole, it just doesn't have the same sting to it now that I use a bidet. I've been using the Tushy one in specific for, I guess, a year now. Well, over a year. I don't know when they started sponsoring us. And it's so simple. It's so easy to set up. And here's how I know I did it. I'm the one that did it. And y'all, if you've been listening to the show for a long time, I'm a dum-dum. And it's simple, it's affordable, it makes your bathroom visit so much more comfortable for you and your guests if you're having a Super Bowl party or something like that. By the way, I'm thinking I'm finally gonna do it. I'm finally gonna get a TV and put it in my bathroom so that I can just sit there all day long and just have the bidet douche me while I watch football. Tushy is the everyday luxury bidet. It instantly transforms your bathroom habits and your bottom health for life. 99% of people who wash with Tushy Wave feel cleaner and fresher. Okay. And I can attest to that. You do feel insanely fresher, instantly modernizes your daily routine. You'll use it, you'll go, who was just putting paper on their butt? It doesn't make sense. And they all attach to your existing toilet. You don't have to get one of those big old machines. It's just ready to use. Installation is simple, takes about 10 minutes. I think I did it in like 8.5. I'm not trying to brag or anything like that, but it's great. And it comes with a 30-day warranty. So it's hassle-free. You can return it. It's got a 12-month warranty on it. And remember, a-hole is only a dirty word if you wipe. For a limited time, our listeners get 10% off their first bidet order when you use code POA at checkout. That's 10% off your first bidet order at hellotushy.com with promo code POA. Skew. Guys, it's the greatest season of all time right now. And I don't mean just because it's football. It's just fall. I mean, football's a big part of it, but it's just the weather. I like when I walk out barefoot and my feet crisps some of those leaves underneath, and I just feel that breeze and you smell the dead leaves and you smell a bonfire. It's amazing. But still, even though it's not as hot, staying fresh can still be a challenge because you're out there, you're doing yard work. Maybe you're going on your hunting trips. You know what I'm saying? You're going to college football games and you're out there tailgating for 9 hours. So you got to have my sweet friends at Mando hook you up with the Sweat Control Solid Stick Deo, baby. It's absolutely fantastic. And here's the deal. Mando blocks odor before it even starts. So you're not just throwing Tic Tacs on a horse turd. You know what I'm saying? You got those extra long holiday shifts. You got holiday time with your family where you get that very specific stress sweat. And we all know the stress sweat. It smells way worse. It smells way worse. I love Mando, from their wipes to their whole body deodorant to all that stuff. It's absolutely fantastic. And I like it because it doesn't have all that BS in it that a lot of other deodorants have. They got premium ingredients that aren't loaded with chemicals. They only use that type of stuff. It's gentle mandelic acid, which keeps you fresh and dry all day. It tackles odor and sweat, right? The Solid Stick gives you double the protection you need. You ain't got to worry about sweat stains or those embarrassing pit rings that we've all had, right? Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a Solid Stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code. Use code POA at shopmando.com for 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. That's shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Use code POA. Mando's got you covered with deodorant plus sweat control. Say goodbye to sweat stains and hello to long-lasting freshness. Skew.
I wasn't even gonna, because I got kicked off and everything. I wasn't even gonna go back to. I told you when I got kicked off that I was like, I bet fucking Bored Panda's just like giving my whole computer mega cancer and it'll never
Yeah.
work again. But some of these just hit too hard. So
Go ahead. Yeah, we'll try it.
I just have to. We'll try to get through them a little more quickly. This one's fun. It's a cola ad, which seems to be not from Coke or Pepsi, but just from Big Soda.
Big cola, yeah.
Big Soda. Literally the soda pop board of America. It's a picture of a happy baby. It says, for a better start in life, start cola earlier.
Mhm.
How soon is too soon? Not soon enough. Laboratory tests over the last few years have proven that babies who start drinking soda during their early formative period have a much higher chance of gaining acceptance and fitting in during those awkward preteen years. So do yourself a favor, do your child a favor, start them on a strict regimen of sodas and other sugary beverages right now for a lifetime of guaranteed happiness.
I love, first off, they're so slick because like the word laboratory here means nothing. Like that's just a bit like a laboratory is, me and you could have a laboratory if we wanted to. That doesn't mean we're an accredited scientist, you know, and that's why they're so like whenever like a company's trying to do something, they're like, like on Shark Tank, you'll see it. They're like, by the way, you know, you need to have third party testing. In other words, like somebody not in house that you can just say, hey, put on this coat and write me up a fucking little paragraph of why babies should drink soda.
Yeah. So I feel like some of our, you know, some of the trashier Tammys in our like hometowns and stuff really took that to heart, I think, and just
Honey
rolled
Boo Boo.
with that. Right, Honey, but yeah, it was my literal very first ever hit internet video, the one about the transgender bathrooms, whatever. I referenced that. It's about, oh, you care so much about kids or something. I was like, meanwhile, you'll fucking, you know, put Mountain Dew in a sippy cup and beat a 5-year-old with a wire hanger for standing in front of the TV during Dr. Oz. Which is pretty good. Holds up.
Dude, speaking of Dr. Oz, I hate to take a detour from this, but you just said it, and I don't know when it would otherwise organically come up. You know, we talk a lot about how like, you know, the same 5 families are running America and they have for a long time or whatever. And then you look at politics and like, you know, Joe Biden was like fucking, you know, in the Senate when Kennedy got shot. I mean, he wasn't, but like, you know what I'm talking about. Like all these people just stay in. And it's like, it's so true, but not just with politics as well. Like I was recently re-listening to a Tim Wilson album, which everybody, by the way, I'm sure I've talked about him on here before. Tim Wilson was my all-time favorite comic. He's since passed away, but please go listen to all his stuff and support his YouTube channel, which his daughter runs. It's amazing. And there's a song he did 25, maybe 30 years ago called But I Might Be Wrong. And in it, he's just talking about all the celebrities that he's sick of seeing and he's tired of and all this bullshit. And it's like, he's talking about Oprah Winfrey, Dr. Phil, and he says something like, I'd fire Donald Trump's ass for knowing every fucking thing. And he just goes on this long list. And aside from Paris Hilton, it doesn't feel dated at all. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, comedy ages so terribly, especially when you're trying to make modern pop culture references. But like basically everybody he's talking about in that song are still cultural titans in this current and modern world. And like, I know that Dr. Phil, his show isn't as popular as when Oprah was banging, but like he's buddies with the president. He goes on Rogan all the time. Like he's still a very influential man. And like Adam Ray has a whole second career, which is fantastic, by the way. It's great. Adam Ray's Dr. Phil is awesome. And I'm like kind of jealous of him that he thought of that, because that's such a great concept for a show. But like that is inarguably keeping Dr. Phil in relevancy, you know? And I don't think that he had as much of a hand in the election as, say, an Elon Musk did. But like, you know, Dr. Phil still moves the meter. Like I guarantee you his Rogan episodes still pop. So it was just crazy to me, like listening to that song and going like, Tim, again, aside from the Paris Hilton line, could have just released this song. I think he even said something about Diddy in it, you know? And it's like, Diddy's more over the news now than he even was 10 years ago, of course, because of his trial, which we haven't talked about that, have we?
I mean, I think that that might have been on Well Read. I don't know. I get them all mixed up, but I'm pretty sure that we at least, like when the result first happened, he He just now got like sentenced, right?
We hadn't talked about the sentencing is what I'm talking about. He got 5.
No, we definitely talked about the result, or the verdict. But again, that might not have even been on here. It might have been on Well Read. I can't remember. But yeah, he got 4 years?
Yeah, he got 4 or 5 with the ability to, with good behavior, get out in 3, which to me means he's getting out in 3.
Yeah, am I wrong in thinking that that's like more than what people thought was going to happen?
Well, I'd say
Like,
because
didn't people think like, he's fucking getting off, easy is what's going to happen here.
I mean,
and I'm not saying that for what he did, I'm not saying that 4 years doesn't count as easy. I'm just saying I got the impression that people are like, this is such bullshit. He's going to fucking do 6 months or 12 months or something and be gone.
I mean, I definitely think that you either fell on one of two sides, which is like, this is just a rich man getting bamboozled by the woke left or whatever, so he shouldn't serve any time, or you were on the side of the goddamn system is meant to prop up people like this, therefore he won't get any time. So yeah, I think that on both sides, nobody really thought anything would happen to him, because like, how many times have we seen, especially in the past couple of years, as it pertains to sex crimes, sex trafficking, whatever, it's all talk, it's all conjecture, nothing ever happens, and because it got brought up around the same time that there was this preacher who's like huge buddy with Trump, and he got caught like graping a young girl, and he only got 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a bunch of people sharing like, it's bullshit that Diddy only gets 5 years. Diddy shouldn't get 5 years if this guy gets 6 months. And I'm like, I think I would flip that. Like,
right.
I hear you, because this is a white preacher. I hear you. But I don't think that we should go soft on Diddy.
Give Diddy less.
No,
they give both that guy more.
Exactly. Like, we should. That's not a game we should play. Like, I think that race has something to do with all. Absolutely, but that doesn't mean that the black guy should get less. It means the white guy should get more.
Well, that's almost part of human nature. I feel like whatever you want to call that dynamic, because it's exactly like with people being like, you're like, oh, really? You think people that work at a fast food restaurant should make whatever, $15 an hour? It's like, I'm a fucking EMT and I make 11. It's like, right.
You should make more.
You also are getting fucked and should be making much more money. Like, that's my position. But they automatically default to like, no, they got to hit just as much as I don't hit. They got to not hit as much as me.
I'm glad
it's like more people should just be hitting,
I'm glad that you brought that particular aspect of it up, because one thing I wanted to do today, if you're okay with it, is
I got at least one or two more of these.
Oh no, you go ahead. Oh please, you go ahead.
I've started doing is closing it out in between.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Seems to help. So
for cancer
and
reasons.
plus I can skip the ones that don't hit as hard for me.
Right.
So, but this next one I think you'll like. An ad from 1936. So this says, "Don't kill your wife with work." Right?
Kill her with a hammer.
Let electricity do it. I don't like. So it's 1936, but it's like, dude, they had comedies and shit back then. Like, did the person who made that ad, like, they're like, oh, this is hilarious. Or is that genuinely accidental, or unintentional or whatever you think?
I know I say this a lot, but I'm also glad you brought this up, because I have thoughts on that. I have wondered, because I think this applies the same. If like, how like most of the time commercials suck, but the really, really good commercial campaigns that stick with you are like funny. Like, they're funny as hell. Mm-hmm. Like, some of them Geico commercials are funny as fuck, like tremendously funny. And I'm like, they have to have at least aspiring comedians in those rooms, because I know how hard it is for professional comedians to write a sketch that sort of breaks through. You know what I mean?
I can't think of. I know for a fact there's been comedians who have at least briefly worked at like ad agencies.
Yeah, but I don't know who they are, and I've always wanted to be able to. I wish it was listed on their IMDb credits, like wrote the caveman commercial for whatever. My point is like, I don't think that's something new. I bet you back then there were like Mort Saul type guys who were living in New York who were writing jokes, but like during the day worked either on Madison Avenue or were like freelancers, and absolutely came up with some of those campaigns. And maybe on some of them, they were trying to be overtly funny to where everybody gets it. But sometimes they were like, I bet this one will slip past the suits. And me and Carl Reiner will just have a good laugh about it, down at the deli. That's what I think.
Yeah. I think, you probably got a good theory there. Now, as to whether that particular one we just saw, where that falls in that whole deal, I don't know. But I think you're going to like this one too.
I mean, for the record, I have loved pretty much every single one of them.
Okay, this is an advertisement for lighter skis. It's for people that like to ski. Skis are too heavy. Lighter skis. Advertisement from 1994. Lose the twin towers.
Couldn't agree more. Boy, some Saudi
prince. Osama bin Laden was a subscriber to fucking Lighter Skis Weekly or wherever the fuck this is from. It was like. It's like fucking cut those Osama bin Laden with a light bulb going off, looking through, like taking a shit and looking through this magazine or whatever. Oh man,
it's your cousin Marvin Berry, like having one of those moments,
right? Yeah.
What's the fucker for that Saudi prince Mohammed bin Salami or whatever his name is?
Yeah.
What's that his name?
That's pretty close. I think it's Mohammed bin Salman or something.
Yeah. So let me ask you this too. So I know that the Saudis were involved in 9/11. Is it that the Saudis got bin Laden to do it so they were involved by proxy? Or is the whole theory like actually bin Laden was just a patsy? He didn't really have shit to do with it. And it was the Saudis the whole time, but he made these really hitting videos with flies on his head and shit in a cave. And so we just sort of went with him.
I mean, I always thought like, a version of the first one, or basically just like the Saudi, we always say the Saudis, MBS or whatever. I don't know if he's even supposed to have been involved. It's just that a lot of the hijackers were Saudi. A lot of the money, I guess, came from Saudi sources and shit and that type of thing. But I'm certain without looking it up that all the current prominent members of their royal family, I'm sure have long since disavowed that whole thing or whatever. But
whoopsie daisy in 9/11. People grow. What are you going to do?
But I don't know exactly to what extent the big players were supposed to be involved or whatnot. I just always know that the Saudis were definitely a part of it. Let's see.
By the way, I hope that you come with a list of this quality every week. I don't see how that would be possible.
No, thanks to got to shout out Bored Panda as much as their website sucks. You curated a good one. If men hate the sight of you, read this. That's a cartoon. These two guys saying, "Let's beat it. Here comes that skinny dame."
And this is ahead of its time.
Men hate the sight of me. I'm so skinny. I'm going to try ironized yeast. And then suddenly she popping. She
got a wagon.
Yeah, she do, and a man. So
yeah,
very important. Not one single case of throat irritation due to smoking camels.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good, Fran. It's so funny how. And by the way, if you go to welovecorey.com, you can read the essay that I just wrote on the big butt-assance that I personally give credit to J-Lo for ushering in. I give Sir Mix-a-Lot his flowers, but as I say in there, America wasn't ready to listen to a strong black man at that time. It's really crazy how first off, God bless you women who have to deal with society just deciding every 15 years how it is you're supposed to look. That's crazy. That's insane. Shout out to the women that have to deal with that. Also, shout out to the women who go, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. But it really is crazy because from the time we were kids up until again, a little bit past J-Lo, skinny was it. You had to be skinny.
Heroin chic.
Heroin chic. Yeah.
If you go back and I'm sure you have since you're talking about this, but going back and looking at that era is wild. They Lindsay Lohan and them
bless
during
their hearts.
Era, they look like fucking
Laura Flynn Boyle.
Yeah, dude. They look like ghouls or something. It's wild. Skeletons.
Dude, I was watching
thin layer of skin over them. They don't look good, and it's but at the time, everybody's like, "That's one tasty 19-year-old there."
I know, and
fucking got all of her bones poking out of her skin and looks faint as she walks 3 steps down the fucking red carpet. But
And
I don't
dude,
know how it ever hit, but I don't know.
I don't either. And this was a time, which I know the whole thing was like, well, the camera adds 10 pounds, so you've actually got to be this much skinnier to whatever. But dude, like you can see their chest bones,
Right.
you know, and I'm not making, please understand, I'm not making fun of them. They were pressured into doing that, and they were pressured into getting eating disorders. So like, I'm not, but like the fact that anybody was like, this is what's up. Like, and also during that time, that's when I remember, you know, Jessica Simpson, like, oh, Jessica Simpson's fat. Bro, I guarantee you, she weighed $125 soaking wet whenever they were calling her fat. She just had big cans, you know. Like Laura Flynn Boyle, my introduction to her was how skinny she was or whatever. So when I went back and watched Twin Peaks, and I knew Laura Flynn Boyle was in it, it took me a minute to figure out which one of these women was Laura Flynn Boyle. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, wow, she just used to look like a regular person. But anyways, like this era, it was like women should be curvy, women should whatever. And then like that was like the last era of that for a long fucking time. And then now it's coming back. I mean, you would have your outlier in Hollywood.
Wait,
like
what do you mean? What's coming back?
Being thick. Like thick is
Yeah, but
in.
didn't I thought you were saying that heroin chic when we were like kids, so like the late 90s, early 2000s, which was 25 years ago. Heroin chic then, but then that obviously went away, and that it like we've been in thick hits for a long time.
We have, but if you go back and
I
look,
would argue to me, thickness has been hitting for I don't know exactly how long, but quite a while. And what's changed recently
is how thick.
I think it don't hit for me.
BBLs?
It's all that, yassification, plastic surgery, BBLs, all that stuff. I would say is the modern era equivalent of that. That's the era that we're in right now.
That's true,
and I don't care.
I hate it.
Yeah,
but all I'm saying is like if you go back and look at J-Lo's butt during the whole like J-Lo's got the biggest butt in the whole world thing. Don't get me wrong, it's great, it's fire. But I don't even think it would register on the scale of some of the butts that are out now. Like, to me, that's how much heroin chic was in, that J-Lo was just regular, like literally regular. And so it was just like, wow, but that like, dude, Sofia Vergara is way curvier than J-Lo was. But Sofia Vergara, it's like, that's now you're supposed to be that. Sofia Vergara looks like she would have been like a 20s and 30s star. And that's a compliment, by the way. She's got that sort of timeless hot, you know, and I'm not trying to objectify. I'm just trying to say it's wild that like just the earth, there's a vibration that all of a sudden they're like skinny women are in now. Now it's fat. Like, I don't get it.
Well, I think you maybe kind of do that. And that you're saying that the big butt and the thickness and all that like originates with J-Lo or whatever. I don't remember who the first skinny one was, but like, it's usually some kind of trendsetter or a couple of them that
the Kardashians have helped too.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, they've also helped with all that fucking
yassification.
The yassification. I mean, they are like the progenitors of that, I would argue, you know, pretty much. But yeah, them. So like them, J-Lo for the booties, whoever it was for the skinny, Kate fucking Moss or whoever it was for the skinny shit. But like, and that goes all the way back to, you know, we've talked about that on the show before about like Marie Antoinette and people like that, like chicks back then. Like there was a time where they walked with a limp because it was a trend because the hot chick of the day had a club foot or whatever. So it's really kind of nothing new, I guess.
But props to men.
And it's also like, saying I don't know who decides that, but I mean, it seems to me like
they're nailing it.
Well, no, it just seems to me that there's, there is a woman or a few women who hit, and then other women are like, that's what we all do now.
Right.
It's how it seems to me. I'm not, but
props to men because like at one point in the 1920s, they were like, this is how the tuxedo looks. Get you one blue shirt, one white shirt, and a pair of jeans, and that you can wear that forever. And we just have.
Yeah, because it hits.
It does hit.
This is an ad from an American magazine in 1939, directly relevant to what we were talking about earlier in this very episode. It's a miner. God fucking damn it. I hope the lead I'm mining will be used in your paint. It's like, well, fuck you too, buddy. God damn. But yeah, no, look at it. He's just being sweet. But yeah, so again, It's like, no way this ain't going to hit, either of these things.
Dude, yeah, it's like, and again, I'm wondering what ours will be because like there's been several iterations of this. Like it was lead and then it was asbestos, like when we were kids, you remember every late night commercial at least was like, if you or someone has mesothelioma from asbestos, and that's like how I learned about asbestos. And in my dumb kid brain, I was like, why were they putting this shit and stuff? And it's like, well, duh, they didn't know, just like with lead. So like,
right.
Do you think it's like that stuff that they're lining the Yeti stuff with to make them so insulated? Like we're going to find out that some of the EPB stuff was not actually good. Like the vapes, like I get that. Like that's not supposed to be, everybody knows that there's dangers involved with smoking. This has to be something that you're not even, of course we can't know it because it's one of those things you can't consider. Like what, you have any theories?
I don't know. Maybe Ozempic. Maybe.
There's no way that's just all good.
Right. It'd be like the first thing ever.
I know.
You know what I mean?
And please understand, I'm not.
Because people thought, I've heard Dan Aykroyd and them talk about it. Maybe they kind of are bullshitting, but they always said it like early on in the goings on that cocaine, they were like, people literally was like, oh, this is like a miracle drug. You take this and you hit, and there's no downside whatsoever to cocaine. It's completely safe. Again, our people in our towns were told that about Oxy when it came out. It's like, no, it's a miracle drug. It's not addictive, but it works. It's the best thing ever. So, so like maybe Ozempic, like it feels. Who the fuck knows?
I would say Ozempic is it's this. It definitely fits this. And by the way, I'm not shitting on anybody that uses it. I hope that it's the miracle drug because some people do need that help. But it does seem to be like there's just no like dude, if tomorrow they gave me an Ozempic type shot that would just regrow my hair, obviously I'd do it. But like there'd be a huge part of me that was just like, this is going to come with me getting an extra butthole or something. Like, something's going to fuck up with this. So I don't know, but that's not like, to me, that's not a complete comp because Ozempic, you're the one doing it. It only affects you. With the lead and the pain, it's like that affects everyone and everyone around you and all the kids. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. So here's the next. I've skipped a few that didn't hit for me as much. Here's the next one that does. Pull it up for me there. So it's from a magazine. It's a man's face, and it says, "I suffered from menstrual cramps." And you're like, "Oh wow, this guy's been brave, courageous,
woke.
really putting himself out there." Yeah, woke, especially for 1968. And but then you read down a little further, and turns out that's not exactly what he's getting at. Says, "I feel sorry for any woman who suffers from menstrual pain, but I also feel sorry for her husband." Cramps, headaches, and body aches used to make my wife so depressed, so irritable that I suffered through those bad days every month too. She tried just about everything, and then one day the doc, I would think, wonder why that's blacked out there.
Yeah, redacted.
It looks like dentist, but a dentist wouldn't fucking.
He was just feeling her teeth. Hey, bitch, you're a little bitty.
Fucking you get your shit together, fucking.
Just a dentist.
Yeah. You ever notice your wife is way too much? I can give her some of this shit. Maybe she'll calm the fuck down. Femicin is what it's called, which I never heard of. So I wonder if that ended up like killing a bunch of women or causing miscarriages or something. Fucked or whatever. They had to get rid of it. But anyway, yeah, they had us in the first half. Not gonna lie. Let's see here.
It's still used. Femicin is still used for bacterial infections and tuberculosis.
Okay.
Femicin, here's Femicin.
So it was just never. That would imply that it was never worked for like menstrual cramps.
Well, but now here's another one from catalog.md that says Femicin menopause drug information. It goes by the generic Freiburg. Because we wouldn't have heard about Femicin now because, the patent on the drugs run out and they end up going by their generics. It is, it's still out there.
Okay.
It is still out there.
Bro, what is the, okay, this is from 1913.
Love it.
Didn't exactly nail this one, but it's a prediction from 1913. It says the last baby will be born in 2012, and worse yet, he'll look like this. and it's a little alien baby. It says, Professor Louis Deland recently declared the human race within 2 centuries would be hairless, chinless, bat-eared, four-toed, long-armed, duck-legged fucking freaks. But like,
I got a couple of them.
based on what? Yeah,
Right.
Like, I don't like fucking. Why would that? It's all like. Do you think it was like for their equivalent of like
Yes.
wokeness or whatever back then?
There's only going to be one gender, and we're all going to be caramel colored because of the inner. Yes, 100. I was just about to say that. Like, they didn't have that to fear because we hadn't moved on socially like that. So, like, at every stage in life, there has to be a group of people who are just creating doom and gloom for. The church does it with fear, doom and gloom. Come here, give us 10%, and we will show you how to get to the other side of this. Or you've got a president who sells you doom and gloom so that you'll vote for them and make the doom and gloom. So, yeah. And all they could do was, it's aliens.
Right. Well, it's like part of what we didn't read, their rationale was like, oh, the birth rate is decreasing slightly every year. That'll keep up, which means eventually fucking it'll just stop. Like people just stop fucking and having kids and shit. But which I mean, right now, I guess we're a little bit behind the curve. But in some places like Japan and Korea, and that's what Elon Musk is all worried about in this country. But like
they're going to outpace us.
That is actually the opposite.
Right.
Well, that we are. China maybe, but I'm saying Japan, like, dude, if Japan, they're like desperate right now because within a generation or two, it's going to be fucking children of men over there. Like they're not, it's not like they're medically incapable of having kids, but they're just not having enough.
Not doing it. Yeah. Well, like aside from like the actual baby boom, because like obviously that whole generation was defined by they had a shit ton of kids. Like, I feel like this rhetoric does come about every 50 years or so. And like, my theory is just like, it's just the oligarchs trying to get us to churn out more slaves.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yes, with like Elon for sure. But you do also like, if you have like a country or a society, a culture that you want to endure.
That's true. Yeah.
Like people are going to have to, be fucking.
I just think that they will.
And shit.
But also, wasn't
I mean, but they're not.
Well,
I'm not saying everywhere. I'm saying there.
Specifically Japan.
Well, I think Korea too, but Japan is like real bad, apparently.
Do you think they saw Oppenheimer? Like, is that what it was? They saw Oppenheimer and they were like, oh, God.
It's a bunch of things. It's their work cultures. And so that's what a lot of people point out is Japan refuses to change anything.
Right.
Their leaders just like bitch about this all the time. It's like, just start fucking more. What's wrong with you?
Right.
But they don't change nothing over there. Like people think we're wild when it comes to like work culture and corporate culture and all that shit. But over there, but people would like get married when they were younger. And then the man would walk into an office building one day and then retire 55 years later and come back home, basically. Yeah. Like they're just always gone. So like, but they don't do the first part now. They don't get married young and he knocks her up or whatever. And so, but everybody, and because now women are working too, but they're all they work all the time. They all be playing video games and shit. It's going to be like, AI and VR and all that stuff is making it all worse.
Yeah. So and like
they have economic problems too. It's expensive to do that shit. And people are like, they can't. So just that type of stuff.
It's so funny how the solution is right there, but all these Elon Musk and people, they just refuse. Like, like me and Amber, we're late bloomers in terms of having kids, and we did have
I wouldn't
overall for our area.
Sure, for where you're at, maybe, but it's because I was about to say we are very much trending in that direction because people don't now. I feel like I don't know what the actual number is, but outside of rural ass places.
You want to get settled first.
People are not having kids until like their 30s, if at all. And it's because of economic instability and stuff. And so it's like you said, it would be so easy to fix that if you're actually worried about it.
Right.
Just fucking tax the rich more and pay people more. And then it would take care of itself. But no. So
because like in me and Amber's case, the longer you wait, this is not me. It's just true.
It's harder and more expensive.
It's harder. It's more expensive. And so me and Amber very much just almost said, fuck it, guess we're not going to do it. And I have so many buddies. Like when I was a kid, it was unheard of for a married couple to not have kids. Like, what do you mean? Like that would not happen.
Right.
And now so many of my buddies don't have kids, and their reason, again, you don't have to do a study. You don't have to, man, it's hard out here for a pimp. And I don't want to have to do, like it's hard enough for me to pay my bills. And like, I'm just trying to, the only way I feel like I can enjoy my life is if I don't have that expense. Like I'd rather go on vacations and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, those people will hear that and go, I just don't know what it is. I don't know why they're not having kids. People didn't stop liking to fuck,
Right. No, yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's same type of shit that's happening here. I think it's just they're ahead of us with all that in Japan. It's like even worse,
Yeah,
or
I mean,
more pronounced over there.
they're like, is Japan way more business oriented than even China?
I think like culturally at least,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I mean, back in the 80s, that was, I mean, hell, Die Hard was Yakamoto, Industries or whatever. Like it's always been like a running thing in movies that like you fly to Japan or China for business or whatever. So like in my brain, they have always been super hardcore, but also everything I know about the Asians that I know is like they're also a very family oriented bunch. Have a bunch of kids or whatever, but I guess not no more.
Japanese, I don't think.
Yeah.
They it now I'm really gonna do some butt talking, but I think
Cool.
it's something along the lines of like they basically transitioned all that sort of old like samurai honor culture,
Mm-hmm.
shogun, or
Mm-hmm.
Bushido, the Bushido code and all that stuff. I think they like pushed a lot of that. It got modernized, and when they got into like business and that type of thing, they brought a lot of that, with them, and to say so treat that, similarly or something, and that's related to how they've just always been real, uh, you know, it's like number one priority is to your employer, I think, and your loyalty and all that stuff.
What is their modern version of seppuku? Like, is it just a gun, or they jump out of a building? Like, because I always felt
Probably,
like,
but they this isn't the same as seppuku, because seppuku is when
you've dishonored your family, or
you kill yourself out of it. But what they do to people though in the corporate world that like don't hit, or you dishonor the company or yourself or whatever, they'll like basically lock you in a closet pretty much with nothing to do for like 40 years.
oh, okay, yeah. I think we've talked about this before
We have, I
because
think. I'm pretty
I
sure I
remember
brought it up on the
thinking,
show before. Yeah.
I always assumed that that's what corporate world was anyways. So I was like, I think I could make that work for 4 years, but like, I do get that you'd get miserable, or whatever.
That we
Like,
did talk about it, right? Because that was exactly what the conversation was about. Because you were being like, no, that hits for me, whatever. And I was like,
yeah,
no, I don't
I
think it
mean,
would hit for you.
yeah, right. Because like in this
I
scenario,
feel like you especially would
oh
not
no,
hit for it.
dude,
You'd lose your mind.
dude. I mean, again, like how many times me and you have talked about the corporate. A lot of comedians talk about the corporate world and like having a 9 to 5, and they have a lot of disdain for it. And I'm not that way. Like I'm genuinely baffled, and I'm so happy that there's people that can do that. Otherwise, the DMV wouldn't exist, the libraries wouldn't work. None of that shit would work. Like we can't all be like me. But like even there's, I think about people always like, what would you do if you hadn't have made it in comedy? I was like, first off, thank you for saying that I've made it. I haven't achieved all my goals, but I've achieved a lot. I think my answer is always like, I would be dead before I knew that I didn't. You know what I mean? Like, I would have just kept going to whatever level I could attain, because it would have to be something creative. Like, I always said, like, oh, I could be a history teacher. But then even that, thinking about just being in the same classroom all the time and having to make small talk with the other teachers and the principal, like, dude, God bless everybody. Like, I'm jealous. I wish I could be that person, because my life would have been a lot simpler. But like, yeah, even in a good corporate job, I think I would have seppuku'd myself. You said seppuku. Is that how you actually say it?
I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know which one it is. I've always I think gone with seppuku, but it might be seppuku.
Mm.
I don't know. Howdy kitty.
Howdy,
I
kitty.
heard, by the way, you just reminded me. I went to the grocery store yesterday, and there was an old white dude and an old black dude behind me in line. They seemed to be similarly aged. I'd say about 65. But the
Huh.
white dude was old, like really California-y white dude. He had longer hair. He
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like thin, and he
Tan.
like tan and all that. Yeah, like sort of a like an aged California slacker or something type of thing.
Spicoli.
Yeah, but yes, Spicoli. But now, probably that's probably a perfect
Tommy
age
Chong.
because Spicoli, a little younger than Tommy Chong.
Right.
Like, how old is Sean Penn? He's probably 60 something, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking of that 70s show era Tommy Chong, but yes, Sean Penn's probably I'd say that he was Spicoli at that time.
Obviously, Sean Penn being a movie star has like kept himself in a different situation, but
still,
but actual Spicoli, the way he would look today, this dude. And so, good call on that. Good pull. And then the black feller was just a 65-year-old black feller. Pretty standard. You're a run of the mill unk.
Too old for this shit.
Yeah, but they were. They seemed to know each other. I don't know if they both if they came there together or what. But they were like just sort of shooting the shit behind me in line. But I couldn't. I sort of like came into the conversation late, and all I ever heard them do, I swear to God, was, as far as I could tell, do Japanese voice to each other the whole time, like out loud in this grocery store, just like like that type of shit. They were just like doing that back and forth and laughing about it. And I look back at them, and they, I don't think there was anything off mentally with either of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think this was like an outing from a group home or something. Right. That's what they do. I think these were just two regular 60-something-year-old dudes who were just like hitting for each other in the grocery store by pretending to be Japanese out loud for a while. If that's not what they were doing, I don't have a clue what they were fucking doing, because that's what it sounded like to me.
That just made me think of like, I think everybody to a degree knows what I'm talking about. Like, we came up when hip hop was it was really cool. I mean, it still is, but like, we had, Dr. Dre and NWA and Slim Shady was just starting, and Tupac and Biggie and all that stuff. And hip hop hit the rural community, and a lot of the vernacular that hip hop people use, rednecks also use that. Like, like we'll say, like, remember one time somebody accused us online of like talking black because we were like, oh, I be I'll be shopping all the time. And it's like, I know that's a bad example because of women be shopping, but like a lot of that like black lingo and redneck lingo is the same. We're using different words to make these sounds or whatever. And because of hip hop becoming popular, all of us little white kids would have that friend who we were like, that was my hip hop friend that we listened to a lot of hip hop together. And so you would naturally, even if you didn't mean to do it, and me and my buddy Jared still do it, I will notice, Amber pointed it out to me, and I didn't realize it, that we will speak a little bit more urban to each other. Like, what up, cuh? Like throwing a lot of cuhs in there. And like, just because we grew up listening to hip hop together. Point is, that's two white dudes talking black. Do black dudes do that? And if they do, is it Japanese?
I don't know. I would be surprised.
It took me a long time to get there, but
again, these two guys, this was a mixed race pair of bros, one white, one black. I think that black people probably, here's what I think.
Japan hits for them.
That is true. Japan does hit for them. So you might be onto something there. But like, my assumption, you were like, do black people do the equivalent? And my first thought was, yeah, but they do the whole like, how you doing today there, bud?
Right. Which is great.
That white voice.
Yeah.
Like, just to make fun of us. You and your buddy are doing that because it's like,
cool.
That hits and it's cool.
Yeah.
I think that black people probably do white voice, but not because it's cool.
Yeah, right.
Like they do it as a in a mocking type of fashion, which we have certainly earned. Japanese voice, though, I don't know.
Dude, speaking of Japan hitting for black people, I feel so stupid for not knowing about this because, I mean, he didn't direct it or write it. It was just he presented it, like Alfred Hitchcock used to present things. But did you know RZA wrote a samurai movie and Quentin Tarantino presented it or whatever? Mm-hmm. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. I do know that it exists. I remember when that happened.
I felt ashamed. Like I bought it or whatever, and I was like, I need to watch this real quick just in case it gets brought up, so I can be like, oh yeah, of course. What do you mean you haven't seen that shit? So I can be all shitty about it. But I just don't. And it sort of made me feel like, you know how sometimes we'll have a fan that's like, you need to have a podcast. And we're like, how could you be a fan of mine and not know that? I sort of feel that way. I'm like, I'm a huge fan of RZA and Quentin Tarantino, and somehow this slipped under the radar. Marketing is crazy. You know what I mean? You just don't see shit sometimes.
The man with the iron fist.
That's it.
That's
he's, I mean, he stars in it too. He plays a dude that makes swords for samurais and shit.
Yeah,
Like it seems like it would be my shit. And Shang-Chi's.
Didn't RZA like do the he directed it, stars in it,
wrote the story,
wrote it,
with
Russell
Eli Roth, I think.
Russell Crowe's in it. Yes, Eli Roth, you're right. And now RZA, didn't he like do the music or some of the music for Kill Bill?
That would make a lot of sense because I
think that's how they got. I don't know if that's how they got hooked up, but I'm saying they'd be collaborating on stuff.
Actually I remember RZA talking a long time ago on Method Man's comic book podcast, because I'm not a dweeb, about writing some sort of samurai movie, but I just heard that and I was like, well, even hitters write stuff and it don't get put out. But then when I saw it was Quentin Tarantino Presents, I was like, you fucking suck, dude. Like, how have you not known this? Oh, you got another hit?
Yeah, you got pulled up there. Look, Mr. and Mrs. Steve Allen lose weight together with AIDS.
That'll do it.
That will do it. That'll sure do it. But it's spelled, if you're only listening, it's spelled AYDS. And apparently AYDS AIDS were an appetite suppressant candy from back in the day. I wonder what kind of drugs you think was in that candy.
Meth?
Like nothing. Right, exactly. I bet here was speed. Like candy that was speed, I bet. You know, phenylpropanolamine. Hold on,
phenylpropanolamine, PPA, phenylpropanolamine, which acted as a stimulant and appetite suppressant. Despite its initial success, AIDS fell out of favor in the late 80s.
Wonder what that was about.
Oh God. That is so funny.
They couldn't. Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough break. It's like there's a lot of, I can't remember which culture it is, but in some culture of people who live in America, the name ISIS was like a very common name for like
Lord Grantham's dog,
a little girl. Right. Yeah. I literally saw a truck in LA on the road one day where is like shortly after I moved here. So this is like almost 9 years ago or whatever. His license plate said something like, I love ISIS or love ISIS or something. And and I feel like he could have went about this a little better, but he had I'm sure in such frustration, keyed into his own tailgate on his truck above the license plate. It's my daughter's name.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, with like an arrow pointing down, because I guess he was like getting so much shit. It's like somebody fucking flipped him off or yelled "fuck you" at him one last time. He just pulled over the side of the road and just carved it into the back of his fucking truck while cussing at himself.
Well, my dad's buddy Al, after 9/11, his business went in the toilet because what Al did was he would take and make food for big parties. And so, Al Catering, it just you couldn't do it anymore,
That's good.
Sorry, I was taking a long walk on a stupid branch.
Right. Is that that's a good one though. I like it. See if there's any more on here. Here, I can just read you this one. A 7-Eleven ad from 1970. It says, Leave the kids in the car. Why not? You can see them from anywhere in the store. We got big glass windows. That's what we're marketing ourselves based on. That's the other one though, dude. It's like I used to have a bit about that. But it's true. It was part of that bit you said earlier about rural America in the 90s was like regular America in the 70s or whatever. This was part of that bit about how I don't know that I was allowed to leave the car.
No,
until
never.
I was like 16 years old or something. I never didn't.
That's how you know
global car.
That's how you know global warming's real, is because we didn't die in the cars, even though we were in them. Because I remember when I first heard about a kid dying in a hot car, I was like, when Kenny Powers found out about overdoses, like, shit, you can die from that.
That's exactly what I said. I said something like that in the bit about how I didn't know that was. Oh, it was like I remember what it was. I said it was like, to be fair, you know, parents back in the day, there was things that were dangerous to kids that they didn't know about. You know, like we were talking earlier about, I say lead in paint, asbestos in the walls, you know, pedophiles in church or whatever, like all this stuff. Like parents were not aware of those things.
Yeah, it's
so
not
you
their
can't,
fault.
so you can't blame them for that. I was like, but by the 90s, like our parents had all that information and they were still just like, what are you going to do? And then I was like, but I said, well, to be fair to them, there was one thing, one danger to kids that our parents still were not aware of in the 90s. And that is that, you know, leaving them in a hot car in the summertime, like that had not come out yet, you know, or whatever. Cause
they left us in there for our safety. They were like, you don't want to get out. Don't fucking venture out there. That's where all the pedophiles are, you know?
Yeah. But I don't know, man. I literally remember this ad from one of my dad's comic books. This one isn't like
your dad read comic books.
Yeah, my dad.
We would have loved each other.
One of my dad's like comic books from when he was a kid, like a fucking issue of, you know, an issue of like Plastic Man from, you know, 1968 or something. And this ad was in the back of it. You see that? Darling Pet Monkey, $18.95, comes with a free cage, free collar and leash, free toy, and instructions included with each monkey. From the Miami Beach Animal Farm. This squirrel monkey makes an adorable pet and companion, almost human, with its warm eyes. Your family will love it. These young monkeys grow about 12 inches high, eats the same food as you, even likes lollipops. Simple to care for and train. I doubt that last part sincerely.
Dude, from where I'm sitting, you're buying a cage and you're getting a free monkey is what it seems like to me. $18.95?
Right. You know, and I remember seeing that in the back of one of his comic books as a kid and just being, I wanted that fucking monkey so bad, you know, and I was like, and I knew that I couldn't do that anymore. I saw someone else post that ad on Reddit in the past few years, and there was an older dude in the comments who said, my uncle bought one of these monkeys. He was like, you know, I remember this. I was a kid, my uncle was older, and he's like, hey, look at this. Fucking guess what? Get me a monkey on the way, right? He's like, and then nothing happened. And my dad told him like, oh, you got scammed or whatever. And it's like, and weeks went by and everybody totally forgot about it. And then one day, this box with holes in it shows up, and this like horribly emaciated, half dead monkey is just like, it's like fucking barely clinging to life.
Looks like Voldemort at the train station.
And he said before anybody fucking starts crying or anything, this guy said that his uncle, you know, they started feeding the monkey, and the monkey did not die. He got the monkey on its feet, but then the rest of the story was about how that monkey just fucking shit on everything and tore his house all to fucking hell, and he hated that goddamn monkey, and he eventually just like turned it loose in the fucking Florida Everglades or something, the way that people do. But
oh my God.
Yeah, I know. It's very, very funny. The past, man, was wild.
That's amazing.
Whew. There was also, I remember the monkey was the one that stood out the most for sure. But those old comic books.
Sea monkeys.
They had all kinds of stuff that as a kid, I was like, God, that's so awesome. But like as an adult, I know that every single one of them is bullshit. And
3D glasses.
3D glasses.
We still don't have
glasses,
that.
Which the X-ray glasses, by the way, were like, the ads were like, look through a girl's shirt.
Yes, that's what.
Without her permission, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
and that would have been awesome, but there's no way that it worked. Like we still don't have that technology.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, TSA does, but like we don't.
Right. So yeah, just all kinds of cool shit. Did you ever see the equivalent from like the 90s when people were still still had porn magazines? They had their own version of like scammy, ridiculous ads in the back of those. Did you ever look through any of those?
I definitely did, but I can't think of any right now.
A lot of them are like just sex toys and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
The one that pops into my head that I remember is like, it was saying, and this might work. I don't know. Like Kegels are a thing for for dude, and like you can strengthen up your wiener muscles and helps with like sexual performance and stuff like that, and that's all real. But so this might actually work. But there was this ad with this like, it was like a barbell
Yeah.
for your dick.
Yeah,
Like you it's got it's a barbell, a miniature barbell hanging on a chain that has a loop on it that you loop on your hard dick and like lift. You make your dick lift weights.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. And it was like a bodybuilder dude with a rock hard penis and a barbell wrapped around it, like doing his dick sets, like it's dick day or whatever. He'll never skip dick day, which is a line in my act right now.
I now do remember the penis pumps. The
penis
pumps, which forever immortalized in the Austin Power films. But like, essentially, what I think is happening is like, if you stick your dick in a thing that cuts off the air supply and then you just pump that full of air, it will swell your dick up, but it don't stay that way, and it probably hurts. It's probably mostly your head, the head of your wiener.
Yeah, I always thought that, even like as a younger child, as a teenager or whatever, I was like, that seems like that would be uncomfortable and not hit. You'll like this one, I think. And this is from the 30s, by the way. And if it's a nice, attractive young lady with a man saying to her man as a larger woman sits right beside her, the speech bubble says, "I was once almost that fat and just as unpopular too."
You didn't have to add that.
I know. It's like this lady booked this ad campaign. I like to imagine they literally just put them right beside each other.
Oh yeah,
and shot the for the photo shoot and
just so she knows.
Yeah, what's to make it real, to get the real. She does look very sad
and unpopular,
and very unpopular. And I'm saying, the reason I said this from the 30s is like, dude, like, no disrespect, she's long dead now. That right there is like, that's big for the 30s,
bro. Yes.
Like fucking, again, 145 pounds was big for the fucking 30s, I think. That right there is like, she was really doing it.
Like
I'm not standards of the day.
I'm not saying that anybody should, there's no excuse for weighing 800 pounds. Obviously, you got some mental issues that you need to work out, and I feel bad for you. But back then, they didn't have like, dude, you ever just eat a bowl of cereal and then you look at what an actual serving size is and realize like, oh, the way I eat cereal, which to me seems normal, is 5 servings. And what I've just done, included the milk, I've just had 1,000 calories.
Right.
It's so easy to have 1,000 calories now. But back then, you had to fucking work for them calories.
Right. Yeah. They had fucking, candy had meth in it, like it wasn't. It was hard, dude.
Like everything sweet had at least morphine in it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, we've talked about it before, but that's why during the Depression, like my granny always thought, like even till her dying day, a fat man was attractive to my grandmother because that meant you were rich.
Right.
Then money, you could afford to just, because like a whole lot of cabbage you got to throw down to weigh fucking 250 pounds back in her day, like a lot.
Yeah. All right. Let's the rest of these are not.
Well, that's.
Yeah,
I mean, well done.
I'm about getting through them here, and I'm not. None of the rest of these are really not hitting for me hard enough. I think, from the New York Times, and this one's just kind of fun. From the New York Times in 1903. Man will not fly for 1,000,000 years. To build a flying machine would require the combined and continuous efforts of mathematicians and mechanics for 1 to 10 million years.
What math did they do?
All right, bet.
Yeah. Fucking Wilbur.
Okay. Yeah.
Wilbur, did you hear this?
Quote Wilbur. Yeah.
What kind of math did this person do to figure that out?
I don't know. There's no more context. It's literally just a quote from a 1903 issue of the New York Times.
That's funny. And so I'm sure that I wonder what our thing of that is. Although we live in a time where I think we all kind of believe everything is possible, a little bit to a little bit of degree. Because if we didn't, maybe 10, 15 years ago, we certainly do now, just because of the internet and cell phones and now like the MetaQuest or whatever. But like really the only thing I think that a lot of people are unified on is like, yeah, time travel. Obviously, that's just insane. But other than that, I'm pretty sure everybody's got an open mind nowadays.
I've kind of always thought, I'm not saying time travel in particular, but just that, like, just about all of it, I could see happening eventually, not in our lifetime or whatever. Here's one more. This one tell me what you think the thought process was for this. God damn it. Fucking motherfucker. Hang on. I hate you, Board Panda.
Buddy.
Your content hints, but
we're all friends here.
Website don't hit for me. Okay.
Titanic.
How fucking far up did you send me? Good Lord. All right, here we go. It says, what a shiner, right? And it's like a child. It's boot polish, but it's a kid with a black eye and a missing tooth.
You know what it is? So, it's a subtle way of being like, do you do blackface in burlesque? This'll work. Maybe.
Okay. But back then, wouldn't they just be like, this is the hittingest blackface, wax on the market.
Right. Yeah. I don't know because obviously that's not it, but like, yeah, I don't know.
Is it literally his tooth? Black eyes are called right, exactly. The tooth. Yeah. It's like black eyes are called shiners, and it's like it's a pun. It's a play on words.
Oh, it shines your boots good.
It shines your boots. Oh wow, what a shiner! And it's just, but like, what does a whooped ass kid have to do with any? And
I guess the tooth is just extra. I don't know.
Yeah,
dude, who knows what these fuckers were thinking? Again, they were on laudanum.
Did we once? We already went over, like on an older episode, we did like recipes from like this time, didn't we?
We've done something like that, but I don't think it's ever inappropriate to go revisit that topic because I'm interested. I actually just bought at a thrift store the other day, like a 1960s or 70s, like all Jell-O mold recipe that I've been thinking about cracking out on the show to see which one. Actually, I've been thinking about me and you both making one and then trying them on the show.
Yeah. Like with the fucking, what kind of Jell-O?
Shrimp, right. Okay, tomato shrimp. Yeah, I mean the gross ones.
You're talking about really going for it.
Well, what I think we should do is we should maybe a 2-episode stretch where we make the most disgusting one we can see, and then we also pick one where we're like, okay, maybe, I don't know, like, because I think the mistake that a lot of people make is like they'll look at it and go like, that's lime Jell-O. It's like, no, you don't use Jell-O, just use gelatin. Like, don't use, you're using, what is it, not pectin, but they're called something. It starts with a something salad.
Aspics.
Aspic, yeah, because aspic is unflavored.
Well, I think isn't aspic just the name of like that genre of dishes?
Is it? I thought aspic was just gelatin.
I think that aspic is. I think that an aspic is any kind of like food ingredients suspended in a Jell-O, a jellied, fucking substance. And I think I think aspics can be either sweet or savory or whatever. It's just any kind of Jell-O mold. I think. I guess where aspic.
I guess where my head's at.
Could be wrong though.
Is like if you use flavorless gelatin, and so it's purely the consistency, and everything else in it is flavored. Like I like caviar, and caviar is kind of jellied fish eggs, So like maybe in small doses, if you made like a lobster aspic and I put it on a cracker, I could see maybe me being like, yeah, this is like a little caviar thing. It's possible. I'm open-minded.
Yeah, I don't know. I just always like me. I don't know. I just say like I've made.
If they hit, we'd still do them.
I've made homemade stocks before that. I let go, and all them bones in there. The bones have collagen and stuff in them, right? And so sometimes you make stock and you pull it out, and it's like, and it becomes jelly basically, and that's fire. But that's when you know that you've hit with a stock is when it turned into jelly. But when I use it, I melt it back down. Yeah, right.
But don't you think that jelly on a piece of toast would hit?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It would. No, you've taken a bite of it before, haven't you?
Probably licked it off my finger. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's good. Again, I don't think I'd want a whole dish of eating that gelatin, but I think smeared, fair, not liberally, just a nice smear on a piece of toast. I could see that going.
They said that's what you're supposed to do with Vegemite. You ever hit
Right.
Vegemite?
No, I haven't, but I have been told, like, hey, don't treat
I
this like
had it
peanut butter.
right. Well, I had it. My dad's friend when I was a kid came back from Australia and brought us a jar of Vegemite, and I'd heard of it, knew it was Australian thing, but I didn't know any of that. And this is like we didn't have the internet at our house or whatever. It, like you just said, don't treat it like peanut butter. I don't remember if I literally made it like a peanut butter and jelly sort of sandwich, but I put, I fucking,
Yeah, as I would have done.
layered it up, and I was like, it was one,
Salt bomb, right?
oh, one of the worst things I've ever tasted. But when I think back on it, and I've not had Vegemite since, but I've thought back years later when I learned that it's like, no, you take, a whole piece of buttered toast, butter the
Melba.
toast up, and then just a little schmear of Vegemite on there. And when I heard that, because I like salty shit, obviously, so I was like, when I heard that, I was like, I could see how that actually could have been good. I just really fucked it up.
In
So
my
I'm
brain,
definitely willing to give Vegemite another go.
I mean, it's very popular, and I feel like every time I've thought of Vegemite since I heard that it was very strong, it's almost like it seems like spreading a bouillon, like a better than bouillon on something, where it's like this is very concentrated, so you only need a little bit of it. But now that I'm saying that, I bet you a tiny smear of chicken better than bouillon on a piece of toast would be pretty fire, don't you think?
Actually, yeah, for sure. I do think.
Mix it with some butter, tame it down a little bit, and just
right. Well, the butter, you always got to have the butter. Butter's what's up. Obviously,
I'm gonna do that when I get home and report back. I made my own butter, and I still got a little bit left. And I'm actually going home tonight to make mo butter.
Mo butter, mo butter, mo hits, baby. All right, I'd say we call it.
Okay, let's call it.
End of that list finally. And no more hits on it.
I have got a little bit of airmail. Fuck, I had them not stapled, hearted. Here's one subject line: an ode to you, parentheses, fuck you, and mammals, parentheses, bless them. Fellas, why you gotta make a bitch cry? I'm a 40-year-old Kentuckian librarian, weirdo, half punk, half goth, country mouse in the city, abomination.
Nice.
Great intro.
Welcome home.
Yeah. This is how Trae introduces himself on stage. Podcast enthusiast, liberal disappointment with two master's degrees, who hasn't spoken to her living in the holler in a trailer snorting pain pills father in over half a decade. Good God. Jesus, what a fucking intro. As one does, I'm fucking fancy as hell. I drink iced coffee. I need to broadcast it despite my pedigree. Because I'm a trash hick with scruples and shame and acutely, painfully acquired self-awareness of said trashness. How dare you? How dare you make me sob wretched, big-backed, body-racking tears every time you talk about mammals? I lost mine last year. I lost my heart, the source of any goodness in me. Every fucking, parentheses, sorry, mammal, time you talk about the transcendent nature of re-experiencing Granny's mashed potatoes or wax poetic truth about how Mama knew for absolute, pure, and certain that her grandbaby hung the moon, I cry hard. Fuck you. Your familiar lits licking sharp quips full of empathy and humor are a song. By my best guess, I lost my accent, perhaps because my mamaw, the fanciest yet most unpretentious being to exist, and I watched My Fair Lady too many times after Sunday dinner. Parentheses, dinner is lunch, supper is supper. Couldn't agree more. All that Henry Higgins diction, pronunciation, rise above the poor flower girl. Mamaw was poise and kindness and snapping green beans and canning plum preserves and shining clip-on earrings. Always lipstick. She could wring a chicken with her bare hands and sing soprano in church choir twice on Sunday. 4 decades. What a gal. Fuck you. You ain't from here, are you? Burns in my ears and has for my entire life. But I am from here. Bless you both for your linguistic retention. It's like hearing my compatriots change their perspective, but not their musical tune of speech. It's like magic, like the fold, the people you're from wrapping their arms across your shoulders in a warm embrace, welcoming you for the first time. You belong. We understand. Get you something to eat. I made a cobbler a while ago. Take off your coat and stay a while. Welcome home wherever you are now. Thank you. You make me laugh and remember. You help me keep her alive in my heart, keeping my terminal Kentuckian shame at bay. You can be poor in the pocket and rich in the heart. full of dirt and love and casseroles. Fuck you, fellow highfalutin hicks. Bless. K from Kentucky. P.S. I'm sorry to my beloved teetotaling mammal for being intoxicated enough to write and send this to other sentient rural bred beings. I love her. I miss her so much. P.P.S. Any human with a mammal or rural facsimile must read Crystal Wilkinson's praise song for the kitchen ghost, stories and recipes from 5 generations of black country cooks. Why? Because I'm a fucking Kentuckian librarian. Go read it. I said so. Love you. Thank you, Kay. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was lovely. Give me that.
That was lovely.
Give me that book at the end there.
Okay, it was
Black Country Cooks.
It was
something about a kitchen ghost.
It's Crystal Wilkinson's is who
Praise
wrote it.
song for the kitchen
ghost. Praise song for the kitchen ghost. Stories and recipes from 5 generations of black country cooks. I guarantee you, there's some far in there. Well, there you go, man. I mean, I have more, but I'll just have to read them next week. I can't follow that shit. There's no way in hell. So go see Trae on the road, right? You're off for a little bit, but go ahead and tell
a little
them
bit, but in early November. But here before you know it, I'm in Madison and Milwaukee, and then there's Oklahoma City and Dallas and Fort Wayne, Indiana. At the end of the year, me, Corey, and Drew will be together at Zany's in Nashville. Home for the holidays, well read, like we are every year, right before Christmas. That's fun. Go to that. Then in January, Sacramento, Spartanburg, Wilmington, and Appleton's coming up. I think bunch stuff in 2026. Go TraeCrowder.com and check them all out. Largo in Los Angeles on November 19th.
Nice.
That'll be here before you know it too. So please come to that.
You can go to CoreyRyanForrester.com, which has links to all my stuff. You can book me for a cameo, and the holiday season's coming up, and the Buttercream Dream always has his dance card punched and full, but I usually limit my requests around December because I have to scream too much. So you can go ahead and book your holiday cameos now, get them out of the way, cost the same amount of money, and then you don't have to shop, So all that's at CoreyRyanForrester.com, where you can also find my paywall site, my Hero, where I'm reading currently on public domain Sleepy Time Theater, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, right in time for spooky season. It's a lot of fun. Listen to Well Read, listen to Weekly Skews, listen to Gravy Baby, do all that good stuff, and stay fancy, motherfuckers.
Skew.
Here's Lydia Lovelace.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Royalty and rednecks are alike. They both like cutting and picking fights. Biscuits and baked beans where they don't belong. Sit on down with Corey and Trae and learn some fancy shit today. We'll laugh a little even when they're wrong. They'll take you to a magical place where if you call someone a cunt, nobody cares. They keep it debonair at putting on airs, putting on airs, putting on airs.